So this is a very difficult journey to do all on your own. You usually need some help. Now I want to end today by just sharing with you a journal that one of our graduates from our LIFT program shared with the staff. And part of their journey was realizing how shame had been a prison for them. And they began to realize how often shame was triggered during a normal day. And so I'm going to call this person Jessica. It's not their real name, but I want to read what they've written in their journal just as a way to kind of end what we're saying and to drive home again how big of a deal this is. So she says this: I originally thought these feelings that I was having were waves of depression, but now I believe they are actually triggers of shame. They feel very similar to me. Waves of depression, triggers of shame. I have no photos or memorabilia around the house to remind me of people or events because they have always triggered bad feelings, which I now think are shame. I can tell I am feeling shame when I want to hide and when sentences appear in my head like I can't do this or I want to go home. I get up every day with the goal of reaching bedtime without being overly triggered, without needing self-punishment, so I do as little as possible which would provoke any triggers. However, I have discovered small triggers are happening all the time without me even realizing it. Enough in quick succession can create the same need to self-punish as one big trigger. All triggers are subconscious and are felt as an undetectable slight pain and sadness. This is a translation of my emotional inner world. So she's going to give daily routine. I open my eyes. Shame in her head says, oh, it's me. I think about the day ahead. Shame, you don't have a job, you're in recovery, so shame is triggered. I get dressed. Body shame is triggered. Clothes are shapeless and worn. Shame says I don't deserve nice things. I make a terrible female. I let the cats inside. I'm glad to see them. But shame says they have you as their owner. That's not good. You pour food into their bowl and they eat hungrily, and shame says I should look after them better, like my sister would. You decide to have breakfast. I choose something healthy. Shame says I just consume. I don't work. I don't deserve to eat. I don't contribute back to others. I just consume. See, husband off to work. Shame says you're a pathetic wife. I give an awkward goodbye. Shame says I don't know how to say nice, encouraging things because I'm not a nice person. Decide to go for a walk. Body shame gets triggered. I need to lose weight. I put coat and trainers on. Shame says ugly, worn, but I don't want to shop for this body. It's too shameful. Get outside. The fresh air feels nice. Shame says people can see me. They can see that I'm odd, strange, weird. The walk feels good and cheers me up. My shame lowers. It's a single track road and a car comes up behind me wanting to pass. I move to the side. Shame says, I'm in the way. I shouldn't be here. I wave. They wave back. My shame lowers. Maybe they aren't mad at me after all. Walking along, I practice mindfulness and try to take in nature. Shame says, nature does not want me. I'm not part of it. A bit further on, another car wants to pass. My reaction and thoughts are identical to before. I did not learn from the positive outcome. Shame says, I'm in the way. I shouldn't be here. I wave, but they don't wave back. This triggers my shame in a big way, which I can feel as conscious pain. I am in the way and worthless. I was right. My mind fills with darkness. My eyes turn down, my senses dull and lost in feelings of inferiority and rejection. I want to go home and hide, but I carry on walking. My heart is beating faster. My pace is increasing. Could be I'm kind of on the verge of flight mode. Tears well up inside of me. Shame says I'm such a pathetic person. Anger rises and all of my emotions start to shut down. After walking for another 5 minutes, my physical body starts to calm and I start to feel better. Shame lowers. At a store, I stand staring at the loaves of bread. Which one should I choose? Shame says, can't even make a decision. And it'll probably be the wrong one anyway. And people are looking at me and smiling, but I can't decide. I pay at the counter. Someone else queues up behind me. Shame says, you're in the way again. What price did the lady say? I start to panic and breathe fast. I fumble in my purse. Shame says, they're both getting impatient with you. My mind goes blank and I can't count, so I hand over a note. It's quicker. Shame says, you're so pathetic. I take the change and smile at her nose, but missed, I caught her eye. She can see me. I'm exposed. She knows I'm a freak. She saw my shame. My heart starts racing again. I mumble thank you and try to get out as quickly as I can without looking like I'm running away. Shame says, I am such a waste of space. I can't do anything right. Outside, relief. Away from eyes watching me, my shame begins to lower. My heart rate drops, my breathing slows, my shame continues to lower. Relief, I got away with it. Now notice there are no thoughts like, I did it, yay, go for me. But more like, oh, that was lucky, nothing bad happened. Euphoria and dizziness from the intensity of relief. I did it. There's a big drop in shame. After 5 minutes of relief, the thoughts creep back, conscious thoughts. Shame. They must have thought I am pathetic. He was angry at me for being slow. She was angry at me for having to find change for a 20. Or the negative thoughts spiral around and distort. She could see I am less than human. She could tell. Did I even say thank you? I can't do anything right. She thinks I'm an awful person now. Notice how I can now distort a memory. Not sure if that is shame or my own personal problems. Shame, it all replays in my head on the way home and confirms my feelings of worthlessness. Back at home, I cannot stop the tears and I go into self-hate. Consciously, I think it is because of making a fool of myself in the store and of what those people think of me. So I beat myself up for being overly sensitive to that one event. But in truth, there have been a lot of small shame triggers today which I had not noticed, and with this big one on top, I got overwhelmed. So I choose to watch something I like on TV to cheer me up. Shame says, I don't deserve to be happy. I should be doing something more useful. Even though I'm alone, I have the volume down low so I can hardly hear it. Shame, my likes are so pathetic. The theme tune, I really like it and I start to feel good. Shame, I don't deserve to feel good. My likes are so pathetic. The walls go up inside me. This shame attack was a sudden decrease in joy, not pain. The theme tune is upsetting me now, so I skip to the next scene. Then I decide to clean the house. Shame, I'll just mess it up. I sing while I'm dusting. Shame, a memory suddenly pops for the briefest second into my mind of being teased for singing. I realize I feel a discomfort inside somewhere and stop singing, not sure why. As I scrub the bathtub, my heart rate increases and the flashbacks come more frequently. Brief flashes of memory when I failed. I notice these ones and push them away. Shame, I'm messing up. I can't do anything right. Over and over. I want to stop, but I force myself to finish. I use the vacuum cleaner and my heart rate is still high and I'm breathing fast. Another painful memory of being shouted at for having long hair and clogging up the vacuum cleaner, which leads to another flashback of being shouted at for using all the hot water, which leads to another flashback of being shouted at for being selfish, which leads to another flashback of my little sister telling me I had made mom cry. Shame, I can't do this. I am worthless. I rush the cleaning just to get it finished so I can have some peace. Getting all worked up physically can lead to chain flashbacks and lots of small triggers at once. Shame, I did a lousy job of cleaning, but at least it got done. A hobby might cheer me up. I played the piano. It's a tune I have memorized and played lots of times before. Shame, I should be doing something useful. I play the first few bars and it cheers me up. It sounds nice. Shame, I can't create anything nice. I don't deserve to do well. My fingers start to falter, but I carry on. I still like the sound it makes. Shame is stronger now. I can't create anything nice. My heart rate rises and my breathing gets faster. I keep going, but my fingers are fumbling and missing some notes. Shame. See, I can't do it. My heart beats faster. I start to feel a slight panic. Making mistakes has started off a flashback loop of times I have failed, been humiliated, and laughed at. Shame, I should be hiding, not on display. I'm making a fool of myself. People can hear outside and are laughing at me. Panic makes my mind go blank and I cannot remember the next note. I stop playing. Shame, I can't get anything right. I try to start again and again, but my mind keeps going blank. I have to get away from here. It's too painful. Shame, I am a failure. I knew I couldn't play the piano. I stopped playing, feeling raw, vulnerable, and pathetic. I do not realize that not only was I feeling pain from the memories, but they had also triggered extra shame in the present. The overwhelming feelings had panicked me, causing my brain to go blank. Wow, does that mean survival mode triggered while playing the piano? That is ridiculous. My husband returns from work. I'm glad to see him. He's glad to see me. But shame says, I'm such a pathetic wife. He tells me about his day. I listen. My shame lowers. I feel needed. I tell him about my day. He listens for a minute, then starts to look through the day's mail. My shame, I'm boring. My day isn't important. My voice fades away and he says, carry on, I'm listening. I carry on, but quieter while he opens envelopes. Shame, I'm forcing him to listen to me. I stop. I stop and ask what is in the mail. He says something which flashes up a memory from a few weeks ago when I said something embarrassing. I feel sick. Shame, I can't get anything right. I'm a lousy human being. I try to catch the thread of his conversation again after I zoned out for a second. Shame, I'm such a pathetic wife, a bad listener, and obsessed with myself. Dinner time. I'm a terrible housewife. I should learn some new recipes. He eats it all and is happy and says thank you. Shame, I force him to eat something he didn't like. I'm relieved that the dinner is over. I got away with it. We watch a movie together. I let him choose because I feel shame, uncomfortable when I choose. We enjoy the movie. Shame, I am not like those women and I should be. This shame does not occur when I watch alone, only with my husband. Maybe jealousy. Bedtime, and for some reason I feel self-conscious getting changed. Body shame, I should look like those women from the movie. Sleep, phew, made it. My head is so tired from the roller coasters of emotion that day. I feel a relief. Lowers shame. I try to sleep before my mind starts going over the whole day again and telling me what I did. I hope that helps you appreciate the power of shame and how this is a war to break free from that, and it's such a gradual thing. Well, thank you, Jessica, for being willing to share that, and I hope it helps everybody. It's the end of another Friday. Hope it's been helpful. Have a great weekend.